Close your eyes and imagine a forest bathed in silver moonlight, where every leaf glows a soft blue and the air hums with gentle whispers of magic. Tonight, we'll wander into a world where dreams breathe in the wind and starlight hides ancient secrets. Welcome, dear listener, to the magic of the blue forest. Now take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let your heart drift quietly into the forest of dreams. Chapter 1: The Whispering Trees. The night was calm, painted with shades of indigo and silver. A soft breeze carried the scent of jasmine across the sleepy little village of Moonville. Far beyond the cottages and meadows lay a forest that shimmered faintly under the moonlight, a forest that everyone in the village called the Blue Forest. Most villagers avoided it. They said the trees glowed because of ancient spells and that strange songs could be heard on windless nights. But for Alara, a gentle, curious girl with a heart full of wonder, the forest wasn't frightening, it was calling to her. Ever since she was little, Alara had dreamed of a soft blue light dancing behind the trees, whispering her name. And tonight, as the moon hung low and the crickets sang their sleepy tune, she finally decided to follow that light. Crescent moon into the forest. Barefoot and quiet, Alara stepped out of her little cottage. The world was hushed, even the stars seemed to watch her. She walked past the fields, through tall grass that shimmered like glass threads, until she reached the first line of glowing trees. They were enormous, their bark deep silver blue, their leaves glowing softly like tiny lanterns. When she stepped closer, she felt something strange, as if the forest breathed. The trees swayed gently, though there was no wind. And then a whisper. Soft, gentle, familiar. Alara. She froze, her heart raced. Who's there? She whispered. The air shimmered, and suddenly a small light appeared before her, no bigger than a firefly, but shining brighter than any star. The light circled her once, then spoke in a voice as soft as a lullaby. You finally came. Alara gasped. Who are you? The light drifted closer, revealing a tiny being inside it. A fairy, no taller than her hand, with wings that sparkled like crystal rain. I'm Leary, the fairy said, guardian of the blue forest. Herb, the secret of the glow. Alara stared in awe. It's real, the magic is real. Leary smiled. Yes, child of moonlight, the forest has been waiting for someone who can hear its heart. They began to walk deeper into the forest, the fairy floating beside her shoulder. Every step Alara took made the ground glow faintly beneath her feet, like ripples of light spreading across the moss. The forest glows, Leary said softly, because of the blue heart, a crystal deep within, older than the moon itself. It gives life to every creature here. But lately, something has been dimming its light. Something? Alara asked, frowning. Leary nodded, her tiny face shadowed with worry. There's a shadow growing in the forest. A creature born of forgotten dreams, the wraith of silence. It feeds on fear and sadness. If it reaches the blue heart, the forest will fade into darkness forever. Alara felt a chill run down her spine. That sounds terrible, but why me? The fairy's eyes glowed faintly. Because only a pure heart, one that believes in wonder, can awaken the forest's magic again. You, Alara, are that heart. Shooting star the path of light. The deeper they went, the quieter the forest became. Even the soft chirping of insects faded away. Alara noticed strange floating lights drifting between the trees, blue and silver motes that moved like living stars. What are those? She asked. Dream lights, said Leary. They are pieces of human dreams that found their way here. The forest keeps them safe until their dreamers find hope again. One of the lights drifted close to Alara. She saw an image inside, a child's laughter, a family by a lake, a warm summer night. She smiled softly. It's beautiful. Leary nodded. Hold on to that feeling, Alara. The wraith cannot touch a heart that remembers joy. They walked for what felt like hours. The moon slowly climbed higher, silver light falling through the glowing canopy. Then suddenly, the fairy stopped. This is as far as I can go for now, Leary said quietly. The next part of the forest lies under the shadow veil. Only you can pass. Alara looked ahead. The trees were darker there, their glow fading into deep shades of indigo. A cool mist crept across the ground, whispering like voices lost in time. But how will I find the blue heart? She asked. The fairy placed a tiny shimmering seed in her hand. Follow the song of the light. This seed will glow when you are near the heart. Trust it and trust yourself. With that, Leary fluttered away, her light fading into the silver mist. Milky Way, the shadow veil. Alara took a deep breath and stepped forward. The air grew colder, heavier. The trees here were tall and still, their bark darkened as though touched by fire. She could feel something watching her, a presence in the shadows, unseen but close. Her hand trembled as she held the glowing seed. It pulsed faintly, guiding her forward. Then she heard it, a soft, haunting melody, like someone singing far away. It wasn't frightening, it was sad, lonely. Alara followed the sound through twisted roots and silver fog until she came upon a clearing. There in the center stood an ancient stone arch covered in glowing runes. Beyond it, the air shimmered like a pool of liquid moonlight. She stepped closer, her reflection rippling in the glow. Then, from behind her, came a whisper. Why do you walk alone in the dark, little dreamer? Alara turned sharply. A tall shadow stood among the trees, shifting, faceless, made of smoke and starlight. Her heart pounded. Who are you? The voice smiled. She could feel it smile. I am what the forest forgot. I am silence given shape. I am the wraith. Waxing crescent moon, the wraith's temptation. The creature's presence chilled the air. The glowing moss beneath Alara's feet dimmed. You don't belong here, it whispered. The world beyond doesn't see you, doesn't hear you, but I do. Stay with me, and I'll give you dreams that never fade. Alara's breath shook. She felt the sadness in its words, like cold fingers touching her heart. For a moment, she almost believed it. But then, she remembered Leary's words. The wraith cannot touch a heart that remembers joy. She closed her eyes and thought of her village, the warmth of her mother's voice, the smell of morning bread, the laughter of her friends. Her heart grew warm again. When she opened her eyes, the seed in her hand blazed with blue light. The wraith hissed and stumbled back. No, that light, it burns. Alara stepped forward bravely. You can't have the forest's heart. You can't have its dreams. The light burst outward like a wave, and for a moment, everything turned white. The arch of light. Alara stood before the arch, tall and ancient, carved with silver runes that pulsed like living veins of light. Beyond it shimmered a gentle glow, not blinding, but soft like moonlight reflecting on water. The seed in her hand glowed brighter, and she knew this was the path to the blue heart. She took a deep breath, stepped through the arch, and the world changed. The air felt lighter, almost weightless. The trees here seemed made of crystal and glass, their roots glowing from within. Streams of blue light flowed like rivers through the moss, and the sky above shimmered like liquid silver. A deep, rhythmic heartbeat echoed faintly in the air, slow, peaceful, ancient. That's it, she whispered, the heart of the forest. Milky Way, the chamber of dreams. Following the light, Alara entered a wide clearing where a great tree stood in the center, unlike any other she had ever seen. Its trunk shimmered with blue veins, and its branches reached into the sky like a cathedral of light. At its roots lay a pool of glowing water, calm and deep, and in the center of that pool floated a massive crystal, the blue heart. It pulsed with slow light, in rhythm with her heartbeat. As Alara stepped closer, she felt warmth spreading through her body, peace, comfort, and something that felt like being home. Then she saw them, tiny flickers of light moving all around her. Hundreds, thousands of dream lights floating like fireflies. They danced slowly, whispering in soft voices, old songs, forgotten laughter, fragments of people's happiest memories. Alara's eyes filled with tears. "So this is where dreams come to rest," she murmured. "Shooting star shadows return. But peace never lasts long when darkness is near." A cold wind stirred the pool, and the gentle hum of the forest trembled. From the corners of the light, shadows began to swirl, thick, dark, and restless. The wraith had returned. Its voice drifted like smoke. "You think you can guard what is not yours, little dreamer." Alara turned, clutching the glowing seed. "You can't hurt me anymore." The wraith laughed softly, its voice echoing through the forest. "Oh, I don't need to. I only need to show you the truth." The shadows behind it shifted, and for a moment, Alara saw faces. Her own reflection, her fears, her doubts. "You think you were chosen," the wraith whispered. "No one believes in you. Not in your world, not even here. You are alone." Alara felt her heart sink. For a moment, the seed in her hand dimmed. The forest trembled. The dream lights flickered uncertainly, as if the magic itself was losing strength. Cloud the song of light. And then a faint sound. A single note, soft and pure, like a lullaby carried by the wind. It came from the blue heart itself. Alara closed her eyes. The melody reminded her of her mother's voice, the lullabies she used to hum every night. Tears warmed her cheeks. "No," she whispered. "I'm not alone, I never was." She began to hum along, quietly at first, then louder. Her voice blended with the sound of the heart, weaving into a song of light and love. The forest began to glow again. The dream lights gathered around her, swirling in patterns of gold and silver. Each light whispered a memory of joy, a child's laughter, a promise kept, a wish fulfilled. The wraith stumbled back, its form flickering. "Stop! What are you doing?" Alara held up the seed, now burning like a small star. "I'm reminding the forest what it means to dream." The heart awakens. The song grew stronger, flowing through every tree, every leaf, every root. The great crystal pulsed faster, its glow turning brilliant white-blue. The wraith screamed, a sound that wasn't anger but sorrow. It dissolved slowly, breaking apart into mist and starlight. Alara reached out a trembling hand toward the blue heart. When her fingers touched the light, a gentle warmth filled her chest, spreading through her arms and into the world around her. Visions filled her mind, centuries of dreams, every wish that had ever been whispered beneath the stars. She saw children sleeping peacefully, lovers holding hands under the moon, the first dawn over the first forest. And then silence, calm. The light settled. The heart glowed steady and peaceful once more. The forest sighed, as though it had just awakened from a long sleep. Herb the forest's gift. Alara. The voice was familiar, soft, musical. She turned and saw Leary, the fairy, floating nearby with tears in her eyes. "You did it," Leary whispered. "The blue heart breathes again, the forest is safe." Alara smiled faintly. "I just listened to it sing." The fairy flew closer and placed her tiny hand over Alara's heart. "You carry its song now. The heart has chosen you as its keeper." "Keeper?" "Yes," said Leary, smiling. Every age, one heart among mortals is chosen to guard the balance of dreams. You are the new guardian of the blue forest. Ilara looked around. The trees were brighter, alive, full of light and sound. She could hear faint laughter echoing in the leaves. "But I have to go home," she said softly. "My family will worry." Leary nodded. "And you will. The magic of the forest will sleep within you. Whenever the world grows cold, your heart will remind it to dream again." Sun returned to Moonville. When Ilara woke, she was lying at the edge of the forest, morning light spilling across the meadow. Birds were singing softly, and the grass sparkled with dew. She sat up, blinking. The seed was gone, but around her wrist was a bracelet made of glowing blue threads, pulsing gently with life. It wasn't a dream. She walked home slowly, feeling peaceful, her mind full of soft echoes, laughter, music, light. The village of Moonville seemed brighter that morning. The air smelled sweeter, and the people smiled as if something had quietly changed. When Ilara looked back toward the blue forest, she saw it shimmering faintly under the sunlight, alive, awake and waiting. Crescent moon, the whisper of dreams. That night, when Ilara closed her eyes, she heard the forest again, soft wind through glowing leaves, the song of the blue heart beating quietly in her chest. And somewhere deep in the forest, Leary's voice whispered through the stars. "Sleep now, dreamer of light. The forest watches over you." As you drift now, feel the same calm Ilara felt. The soft hum of trees breathing in the moonlight. The warmth of the stars above you. Remember, even when life feels dark, there's always a blue forest inside your heart, glowing quietly, waiting to guide you home. Take a slow breath in, and let it go. Good night, dear dreamer. Sleep peacefully.